Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to What is Fabrizio Inking? It's Friday night, which is very odd for me. Usually I have fallen asleep on the couch by this time. No, I'm just kidding. Not the couch. A chair. So anyway, I figured I'd stream because I still have a lot of inking to do. I'm heading out of town. What is that thing right there? That's a weird shadow thing. So I'm going to finish up this page, which I got pretty far, and then probably jump to another page pretty quickly. If you are new to me or the channel, my name is Fabrizio Aiello, and I have a comic book called Horace H. Hoover. It is available currently on HoraceHoover.com, issues 1 through 3. It's a pulp occult adventure set in the 1920s, 30s, starring Horace H. Hoover and his two friends. They sort of investigate paranormal mysteries, ghost stories, wacky things, monsters, all that fun stuff. Get some music going, and we shall start. If I sound weird, let me know. So I figured I would mention that I was doing a little scavenger hunt, if you will. I was supposed to do something over the weekend, and the idea was I had a couple of sketch cards that I've had for a while, and I have the Horace H. Hoover resin model kit. Well, actually I have some that are kits and some that are painted and assembled. And I figured, you know what, somebody's coming to town that I know of, and they're, fans of Horace H. Hoover. I would do something that I've kind of wanted to do for a while. Whenever you're getting ready to market something, you just come up with a bunch of ideas, you write them down, you get to some occasionally. So I have this document that's like 7 years old at this point with countless marketing ideas. Some are better than others, for sure. Some guerrilla-like marketing. And one of them was to hide Horace H. Hoover stuff in, I would say, genre-appropriate places. So I'm not going to just randomly throw Horace H. Hoover stuff, I don't know, at a local Rite Aid. If it was at a Rite Aid, it would be behind glass now anyway. But that being said, you know what? We have a bunch of cool libraries, but one in particular is the Carnegie Library in Oakland. It's a beautiful old building. It's like 130 years old. Many floors. It's really, really nice. So I thought it would be fun to hide some Horace H. Hoover stuff. I had 2 sketch cards. I have that resin model. Why not? And the thing I will do this. It's just temporarily postponed for the time being. But I really wanted to come up with some clues. Not too easy clues either. Something that if you figure it out, you feel great about. Not just, hey, 3rd floor, 2nd shelf, 8 book over kind of thing. So I needed enough time to come up with some clues, find the books that were appropriate, and the scheduling just didn't work out, unfortunately. There is Ernest, hey, how's it going? Looking good, buddy. Looking forward to the upcoming HHH. Thank you very much. I'm in the home stretch for the inking, so I will probably be inking more than I normally do, just because as soon as the inks are done, coloring and lettering is pretty quick. So I'm on the last like 9 pages or so. So anyway, the scheduling didn't work out for the one library, the one in Oakland, the 130-year-old library. So I'm like, well, we have a Carnegie Library downtown Pittsburgh. Now, I used to work downtown for like 8 years, something like that. So I'm very familiar with downtown, but I haven't been there in a long time. It's not some place that I frequent anymore. Downtown Pittsburgh is dicey, right? And I've known that for a while, but I'm like, well, you know what? It's a Friday afternoon. It's sunny. I'll go downtown. I'll check it out. So I have to park, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from the library. So I park, sort of the usual parking garage that I've always parked at. And from when I parked to actually getting to the library, I had, we'll say, multiple instances of potential violence, either directed toward me or other people. It was pretty crazy. I don't know what was going on tonight. I don't know if this is how downtown is now. This is sort of like the default or what, but I had a bottle thrown at me. Yeah, so I got to the library, and I couldn't even get into the library because essentially there was, I'll call them ne'er-do-wells, blocking the door. There was a security guard kicking other ne'er-do-wells out. It was just a bad scene. I'm like, well, maybe this will clear up in a little bit, and then I can get in. And then I realized I can't in good conscience send people to a place they might actually get injured. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to postpone this for a later time to make sure there's a location that I will feel much better about sending people to. If you're familiar with the city, that's a little different, but even so, I wouldn't send anybody downtown anymore. That was pretty unfortunate. So that's sort of the reasoning behind my postponing of the little scavenger hunt. It was a cool idea, and I'll do something like it. I was thinking maybe like an online one where come up with some clues, some puzzles that are either Horace H. Hoover themed or related. And then if you manage to figure them out, maybe you get a free resin model. Plus shipping. The plus shipping part is important. So, sorry if I got anybody's hopes up on that, but... Hey, Pisces Rising Press. Thanks for subscribing to me on Substack. Yeah, sure, thank you. I appreciate it. Torchbearers Studios, looking good, nice thinking. Thank you very much. Thanks for popping in. I didn't know if people really watch too many streams on Friday night. Like, people are getting off work, probably watching the latest Netflix show. So thanks for joining. So that was my big sort of revelation today. I have a couple of ideas for the fake ads in the next issue, which I'm really excited about. If anybody has sort of the Gloomy Wood published comics, there's fake ads that didn't make it into the original publishing through my former publisher. And that was always a sore spot for me because, I had Letters page for the first time and I had these fake ads and there wasn't any room, or so I was told. So when I published them, I was able to put those in and I feel like they really add to it. if you read some of those ads closely, they kind of, I always put Easter eggs in there, like Easter eggs that may sort of help you figure out stuff about Horus's powers or his origins or something like that. Ernest, that's crazy. You can't even walk to a library without getting attacked. Yeah, it was, I don't know, unfortunate. But it's in a really, not in a great part of downtown too. So I was half expecting it, and then the other half of me was like, oh, this is gonna be really, really fun, to throw these in here. But I'm just honestly glad I made it without getting hit for just walking. So that is the state of some things, unfortunately. Yeah, but the fake ad stuff, I don't know if anybody plays the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game, but I never played it before, but I saw ads for it. I picked it up on eBay, and it's just kind of fun flipping through it, not even playing it, just kind of seeing the old artwork, and you get these maps, of like, and this isn't literal, but like Doctor Doom's lair, and it has the top-down map. I kind of love those things. When you're reading the comic, you get a cool opening shot maybe, or you get an overhead or a isometric, but you don't get like this technical drawing of Doctor Doom's lair. So these role-playing games, from what I understand, did this for a bunch of like X-Men, and there's a bunch of like supplements, I guess they would be called. So the fake ad I'm going to be doing for Horace H. Hoover will be related. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's a lot of fun. So I think we're good on this panel. I think we're good. Maybe a little more dark down here for Slurp. So I could make Max, I could do this in shadow here, so that way Horace's arm kind of pops forward. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, actually. Torchbearer Studios, you'll have to ask Brian Baugh to share some of our Marvel role-playing game fiascos. Our games always went so is. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I've never actually played it. It looked fun. I didn't really play role-playing games when I was young, so. Ernest, are you talking about the newer role-playing Marvel books or the old ones? I guess 84 sounds like it. I think it's 84. Something like that. So yeah, that actually worked out pretty well. Max, like pushing the blacks for Max's vest, I think helped push Horace's glove forward. Now you can always do that with color, but I mean, you really want your pages to look good in black and white too. Even though I'm doing the coloring, Like you want to be able to sit back and really be able to read it well before it's colored. At least that's the goal. Ernest, my son has the newer core plain book, so just wondering. Yeah, I like getting the older stuff like that when it has details and layouts. There is something very just charming about that old stuff. I mean, I'm old, I like old stuff, but it's like I don't have nostalgia for the game because I never played it. So I am looking at it for the first time. So it just, I don't know. So it's not nostalgia for me, but it's just really charming. It's a pretty simple system from what I picked up. Again, I'm not really playing it, but something I'm also going to do, I know I just do these inking videos, which may or may not be thrilling at times. I kind of want to pick some artists and just look at stuff that I like. I was looking at Travis Chare's stuff. He's obviously, I mean, he's probably everybody's top 10 artist of all time, but you just kind of stare at this stuff and you try to decipher what it is about the artwork that you like so much, or that you can try to incorporate or learn from. So I might do some more art stuff once I finish up the pages for number 4. It's going to be a tiny, tiny printed hand when that's done, but I think it should be fine. I lost all that RPG stuff when my basement flooded. Oh, that is my nightmare. I mean, that's a lot of our nightmares. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear about that. Have you ever thought about doing just a black and white release of Horse H. Hoover? So, man, black and white, just black and white it's really difficult. And I'm kind of not that good to do just a black and white Horse H. Hoover. Or maybe I should rephrase that. Like the current style I'm working in, I don't think it really lends itself to just a black and white version of it. If I did maybe more pen stuff, grayscale, maybe even washes, something like that, kind of like old school Conan or something. That's doable, I think. But yeah, the current style I'm working in, I just don't think it lends itself to black and white. It would be cool if I could, now that I think about it, doing like black and white washes could be kind of interesting on the brushes. Black and white's tough to pull off. It's difficult, at least for me. I think those are fun. Well, I guess there's 2 reasons to do a black and white version. One is like I don't want to say an artist edition, but just a stripped down version so you can kind of see the artwork. But then there's ones that just look better, black and white. A Bernie Wrightson pen and ink issue is just it's gonna look amazing in black and white. maybe that's one of the detriments of me doing everything, is because I'm going to be coloring it, so there are probably things that I do or don't do knowing that I'll be the one in the end coloring it. So I'm like, oh, I'll just leave that for colorist Fabrizio. And then inker Fabrizio gets to pass the buck. That lazy son of a bitch. John's Long Box, how's it going? I didn't get a chance to check out your closing stream. I just saw it for a second. I'll have to check it later, though. I've been running around all day. Hey, Dr. Mask, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Is that big iron? It's not, but as time goes, I'm getting more and more excited about playing around with a new style for that. So I know I've mentioned it before, but after Horse Age Hoover number 4, I'm going to be working on a book with John's Long Box. And I'm really, I don't want to say for certain, because I'm going to be testing out some different styles, but I really want to do watercolor and like a micron pen or pen and ink type stuff. I think that could be a lot of fun. It'll look really different, and I actually think, I don't know if I can give away specifics about the book, but I think it'll lend itself to the genre and the time period, we'll say. So, I don't know about timeline on that. I mean, I still have to finish issue 4, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I would love to color it. I'm playing around with potential styles. So I'll run it by you whenever I have, like, I'll do basically a page, a fake page with some characters, and then I'll do the watercolor and then see how that works. I just have something really specific in my head. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, how cool would a watercolor book be? The cool thing is, how I plan on watercoloring it would be very similar to how I ink it. So, do the pencils, print out blue line for the inks and the watercolor. So I would just print the blue line on watercolor paper. So technically, and then I would have to composite it digitally. Unless I felt very, very, very confident in this brand new style that I'm playing around with. And I would do it all on the page. We'll see. Is it hard to move from one style to another? I mean, once you settle on a style? I don't want to speak for other people, because I know most people would say, yeah, it's really hard. But I think a lot of artists have at least a couple of different really comfortable styles. So for me, this is pretty comfortable. Brush, kind of Bronze Age stuff. Because I've been doing it for a long time. But the other style that I'm pretty comfortable in is like a technical pen type stuff. I know I haven't really showed too much of that, but you kind of get a glimpse in my sketch cards over the past couple of years. Just really tight micron sort of illustrations. So I'm very comfortable with those two styles. And watercolor. I used to do I did a lot of game art in watercolor. So it's kind of a mishmash of two styles I'm pretty confident doing. Still have to do some style tests, of course, but yeah, I think most people, again, I would love to, if any artists are in the chat, I feel like I've always had a couple of styles I'm pretty comfortable with. One is more of a looser style, and one's more of a tight style. I think we're good on this, actually. Here, let me just. I think we're good on this. That's right. That's right. Horace H. Hoover meets a nun. What could possibly go wrong? All right, so that page is done. I had this one started. So I will maybe finish this up tonight. We'll see. All right, I haven't looked at this in a while, so I gotta pick some spots. That are kind of easy, basically. Torchbearer Studios. I have 3 styles, but they get rusty if I do not use them frequently. Yeah, I definitely get that, but I feel like that seems like a natural thing for an artist to have a few. I think it would be a little, I don't know, I think it would feel almost too repetitive if you just had one really specific style that you just did over and over and over again. I mean, and maybe like the stuff you show people is one style, but you know, when you sit down on the couch or you're just kind of messing around, you know, you can kind of play it around in a different style. I know, I think I would get, I'd get a little bored just having one really specific style. I was talking to an artist friend yesterday who does one heavily influenced by Jack Kirby, and he did a story all in the style of Little Archie. He seemed like it wasn't a big deal, said it was fun, a style influenced by Kirby. Oh, that's cool. Man, it is, over the years, it's been kind of tempting to, and I'm sure every artist kind of goes through this, kind of ape the Jack Kirby style for something, just for some random story. There was a game, a video game, years ago. Man, I can't remember. Freedom Force or something? So I used to do game development, so I would buy a lot of games. Really wouldn't get a chance to play them, but, you know, I had to see kind of the latest technology, the latest features, gameplay, all that stuff. And this Freedom Force came out. And the artwork was very much, it was all Jack Kirby. I mean, he wasn't even trying to like hide any influence. He was 100% trying to ape Jack Kirby stuff. And at first I was like, hey, that's not cool. But then, I don't know. Like the more I saw parts of the game and the trailer, it actually was really endearing. And I think they might have done a few games. Again, I didn't really play them, but if there's any gamers out there, or anybody else, just check it out. I think they actually published, I could be wrong, but I swear they actually published a few comics. So the artist, whoever he was, I can't remember, did this game and then published some comics that look absolutely like Jack Kirby. I know Herb Trimpe tried to change his style in the 90s to be more extreme and it didn't go well for him. Did he? I don't think I've ever seen his like 90s stuff. That's kind of hard. I'm gonna have to look into that. Granted, I kind of bailed on a lot of the 90s stuff, so it probably was out there and I didn't see it. Yeah, I can't imagine how that goes. We played Freedom Force. That was a fun one. Yeah, it looked like a really fun game. This is where I complain about not using a ruler. He basically got out of comics after that. I hope he found something. Yeah, I mean the 90s influenced stuff is or I should say the Image influenced stuff so bad in Marvel. Those look more like clouds than bushes, huh? Tom Scioli did some of the Freedom Force comics. No kidding. That's wild. I didn't realize that. Started playing chess again after many, many years. I keep doom scrolling, and that is just, that's bad. That's bad across the board. So I'm like, you know, I gotta find something else that just takes a few minutes, like, cause I'm in traffic a lot, and it gets pretty brutal. So, create an account on chess.com, which has been pretty fun. I used to be really into chess. I designed a chessboard. I designed chess pieces, actually. I was going to sell them, so they're resin chess pieces, kind of like all my resin models. But I'll be honest, I don't think people would buy them. Not that many people play chess, let alone buy a chess set, custom one off of, you know, Etsy or eBay or something like that. Dr. Mask, I would love to hire someone who could draw like Ditko. I haven't really seen anyone that really can do that. It's funny you mention that, because that's actually something I've thought so much about. There's a million, you know, Kirby influenced people or Buscema influenced. I can't think of like a Ditko clone or anybody who even tried to be a Ditko clone, other than, you know, I could be wrong, but I feel like Romita's Spider-Man. There was somebody who did Spider-Man at the very beginning of their career. And I'm like, oh, that kind of reminded me of Ditko stuff, but yeah, it's funny, like, I don't know, it's almost like he was untouchable. It's weird. I mean, because as soon as John Buscema hit the scene, you know, that heroic figure was pretty much all we ever got after that. I'm not complaining about that, but it is interesting. Because the one thing Ditko did, I would argue, better than almost anyone, is clothing and folds. Or at least as good as the greats. We'll say that. I know everybody's talking about Superman. I have not seen it. I usually am really behind on that kind of stuff. But I have heard good things from people that I trust, so hopefully I'll get to see it in the theater before it's totally ruined. I've been avoiding this over here because I completely changed the structure of this drawing after the blue line. So I don't know if this is going to make it into the comic or not. I might have to redo this one. Let's see. This face is gonna get me. For sure. That one character that John's long box has been shown reminds me of a Ditko character. Can't remember the name. Maybe the Public Eye? That's one I've been seeing recently. Admittedly, I haven't been on Twitter that much, just a bit. I'm going to be heading out of town for like a week, so I'm just trying to finish up a bunch of stuff. We're going to Georgia in July. Georgia in July. It sounds soothing and refreshing. Like a cool drink of water. Oh, that's it. Cool. Yeah, I read the story for that, the script for that a while ago. I think it's a short story, I think. It's fun. It's interesting. Definitely, it's one of those characters that after reading the story, I'm like, oh, I want to know more. Yes, Dr. Mask, that is exactly. So some people like the heat. I lose my brain. And I should not have done this, but that's okay. Yeah, I honestly cannot handle the heat. For many, many years, me and my wife, we take our vacations during winter and we go north. So in the middle of November, we're going to Maine, you know. In the middle of December, we're going to Rhode Island or something like that. Luckily, we're on the same page. We want to go to that ice hotel. I think it's in Alaska. No, not Alaska. It's in Iceland, I think, right? Yeah, we both are like going to the ice hotel would be our tropical. I guess is it Bahamas that people go to? I don't know. Hot places. Oh, Dr. Mask, I saw the logo for your book that is going to be coming out. I don't think I've seen like a potential publication date or anything like that, but if you have one, feel free to throw it in chat. I can't wait. I'm actually very excited about that. I did a visit Disney a number of years ago in July. I don't know how that's humanly possible. If I went to Disney, I would never leave the hotel. I don't think I could. I would set it to 60 degrees. Yeah. They have a word for me. It's called wuss. I actually don't think humans should be living in this kind of heat. I think it does make people crazy, but that could be my own personal feelings creeping into that opinion. I have a couple of other ideas. I might as well share them now. I'm sure nobody will steal them. Well, nobody in chat that I know of, but somebody could hear this that I don't know. Well, I'll say it here. You know what? I'll hold off. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have done that. Kind of loses steam if you tell people sometimes. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be launching the sign up. Oh, awesome. And then I will feel it out maybe a month or so after that. That's fantastic. Cool. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. I'll repost it. Book is 99% done. That's great. That's got to feel great. That is a lot of straight lines for a brush, I tell you. I know a lot of the Marvel guys that used a brush, they used a ruler, right, to do straight lines. But I've been really interested to see how fine lines they get. I don't know. I think a lot of that is still pen. So whenever I see like Buscema or like Neil Adams, I think there's a little demo of him using a ruler. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's still, a lot of times when I'm looking at backgrounds and things that are ruled, it doesn't look like a brush. It really looks like a pen to me. Going to do a fan art contest for the last page. Oh, excellent. That's great. Yeah, whenever you do your launch stream or however you're going to launch it, let me know. I will be doing my launch stream live from the downtown library in Pittsburgh, PA. No, just kidding. Find out if Fabrizio launches issue 4 or gets shot. The thing that really sucks is downtown, like, it's Ides. I used to go there all the time, and now it's, I don't know. It's a little dicey. Ides is probably the second best. Closest to me, for sure. Whatever comic I do next, all of the structures are going to be one story and going to be mud huts. Mud and hay or poorly constructed homes, hovels. That way I never have to draw books or bricks or straight lines again. Necessity is the mother of invention. And I don't want to draw straight lines anymore. Fabrizio, you're doing an alternate history comic, but everything is exactly the same. It's just that people live in these like hay huts. Can you tell us what deep meaning brought you to this sort of change to the structures of a society? Well, the hut actually is a metaphor for something. That's all you have to do. I went to school for fine arts. I had critique. I know how it works. You just use the words metaphor and analogy, juxtaposition, all that jazz. I thought I would do it at the local Taco Bell, like slaughter. What? They did not. Is that something they did recently? Have they fallen that far? And no more shelves of books. Never again. In fact, I should kill the book bug just to make sure, and we never see him again. And then well, we still have the library, though. Damn it. Maybe if somebody goes back to the library, you know, somebody will ask. Horace will be walking, and in the background, somebody will have a conversation. Where are all the books? And somebody will say, they're being cleaned. Due to return any moment. Aw, shucks. It's a metaphor for my carpal tunnel. Yeah, exactly. Years ago, someone invited them to play at a Taco Bell, and they took them up on it. Wow. Man. I mean, sounds like they're good sports. I wonder if it was like all the original members. I wonder if Mark Slaughter's voice has changed since that time. That's right, I know his name. Former singer of Vinnie Vincent Invasion, right? I actually, now that nobody brought up Kiss, but I did. Vinnie Vincent, still one of Kiss's all-time best songwriters, without a doubt. A weirdo, to be sure, from what I understand. But man, he was one of the best songwriters they had. Mark Slaughter is a voice actor. No kidding. Does animated stuff. That's pretty cool. Good for him. Indirectly, I brought up Kiss. Yeah. For me, everything is 6 degrees of Kiss. So, 6 degrees of Kiss, 6 degrees of Prince, 6 degrees of old hardcore bands. Speaking of the Gorilla Biscuits. Yes, sad. Vinny is such a head case. It is sad. Like he really could have. I don't know. He could have done something, even if he just did the Kiss cons and I don't know, did solo albums. Do you know Kevin Conrad? Man, that name sounds familiar to me. Who is he? It sounds really familiar. He is Lee for Spawn and Kiss Psycho Circus. Huge Kiss fan and plays on Kiss Tribute. Huh. Oh, Anchor. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, Dr. Mask, I have never spelled anything correctly on my phone. My family and friends think that I can't spell the simplest word. I don't know what it is. I actually have very small fingers and a small hand, and I still, to this day, cannot type. Alright, I think I'm almost there. I should be able to finish this up tomorrow sometime. After I finish issue 4, you will really be able to see the difference between issue 1 and 4. Hopefully it won't be like jarring. I don't think it will, but you can see a progression. You know, whenever I look at my comics, how I draw, even the same characters, it's undeniable. And the one thing that I was really afraid to do was use a lot of black, especially in the first issue, even into the second issue. But now I realize how important it is to like weight the page. Just throw some blacks somewhere, honestly. You'll almost never regret it. You just get really precious with things, and you don't want to ruin it by putting blacks where it shouldn't have them, but man. Family is like, did he have any aneurysm when they see the message? Yeah, every time. To this day. Embrace the black. It's, I would say, you know, there's line quality, there's tools, there's technique, there's all of these things that come into play. But I think the one thing that most people are lacking, me included, I'm not, you know, compared to who I consider the best artist, is the amount of blacks on your page to like hold the page down. Obviously not everybody, but most people either do a lot of gray, so the page is kind of hard to read, or they don't even get to the gray part and it's more like outlines, so then it's more work. It's basically hoping that the colors saves it, you know, to differentiate between characters and objects and backgrounds. But if you if you throw some blacks in there, I don't know. Alrighty, I think I'm good. As I say that, I notice places where I really could use more black. I mean, look at Spider-Man's black costume and how some artists treated that. Really clever, brilliant ways to take a black costume, a giant black costume, and still make it readable on top of buildings and fighting, you know. Sometimes you get artists that would kind of put an outline over everything, and some people would rely on just the shape, like the silhouette, to describe the muscles. Interesting stuff. Alrighty. Oh. man. I think I am done. Well, thanks everybody for popping in. I appreciate that, especially on a Friday night. This was fun. This is page 29, so I got about 9 more pages to go. I'll be inking as much as I can, probably again over maybe Sunday. And then I'm gone for a week. I'm gonna roast in Georgia, going to my niece's wedding, which should be a lot of fun. And then I'll be back to finish this up. In the meantime, if you're new to me or the channel, I have a book called Horace H. Hoover. Issues 1 through 3 are available on HoraceHoover.com. This is my shilling. A reminder, there's literally only about 6 or 7 copies of each of these. Once those are gone, I'll have to reprint them, but I won't be using that original cover. So if you want that original cover and not the alternate, probably should jump on that. I have other stuff, t-shirts and resin models and things like that. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Dr. Mask. Everybody have a good night. Bye.